So this mare can be a little difficult to catch sometimes. I've got her in a round yard here, so she and I have a nice safe place to work. She will typically walk off away from me when I approach her. I do have a halter here, so that that isn't a factor. I can catch her if I want to, or I don't have to. A lot of horses will run off when they see the halter, but may or may not when they don't see a halter. So I'm just going to hold on to it. Good girl. So I'm going to acknowledge when she faces me like that. I like that. I don't want to spend a lot of time chasing her around if I don't have to, because she's going to get in better shape than me a lot faster, and she's going to have an advantage over me if she ever gets into a large pasture, or if she ever gets loose. So I would like to start her off on the right foot here and be able to catch her without having to chase her around, without pressuring her and making her run as much as possible. So we'll see how she handles this. Good girl. I'm going to walk up to her and see what she does. There, she looked away a little bit. I'm going to take that as my first initial cue, and I'm going to back away. Good girl. So I rewarded her for looking back to me. Good girl. I'm going to touch her and retreat. Approach and retreat. And we've been working on this some. And I think if I put her in an actual paddock, things would be different. But today she's doing really well. I'm just showing you a little bit of how I get this started and what signs I look for in getting a pony or any horse a little bit easier to catch. If I step more towards her flank here. Yep, there she goes. Good. And I have not done any of this with her outside. I've done a little bit of this approach and retreat stuff in the stall, because she wasn't even easy to catch in a stall. She would turn her butt towards me and just act like she was terrified. So I've just started doing this approach and retreat in the stall. If she wants to move, I might ask her to move a little. And then see if she wants to make a good decision. Good girl. Good. She looks at me, I'll take one step back to acknowledge that I appreciate her attention. Good. And all I'm saying with my retreat here, all I'm telling her is that I appreciate you paying attention to me. I appreciate you looking to me. That's what I'm telling her. Good girl. And in return, it's making her a little less leery, a little less wanting to get away from me. Now she is going to let me approach and pet her. I'll scratch her woolliness here for a minute. You are super fuzzy, and she is shedding like crazy. When they're difficult to catch like this, I really won't ask them to do much in the first several lessons, because I just want to build a relationship with her. Good girl, there she's stepping in towards me. Lots of lick and chew. Big sigh. That shows you right there how much tension she was holding on to in her body. That shows you that even though she wasn't running around and really wasn't acting nervous, the tension was there. If you see her She's done the blinking, she's done the lick and chew, she's done the sigh, relaxed ears. It's important to listen to your horse and look at the body language. Listen to what they're telling you. So she's got this whole big paddock now. Big pasture. She's never been in here before. Her buddy's going crazy, but she's not paying him any mind. She's having grass for the first time in a little while because she's been on a diet. And I have not attempted to catch her out here yet. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So, what I'm going to do here, when she looks at me, I back off. When she starts walking forward, I'm going to walk slightly in front to see if I can catch her eye again. As soon as I catch her eye, I back off. I want to try and keep that eye on me. So when she's walking away, I'm going to try and stay ahead of her. When she faces me, I back off. So she thought about taking off right there, but I backed off first. There's a good girl, Marley. There's a good pony. When she lets me take a few steps forward without much of a reaction, and when I've still got her attention, you can see I've still got her attention even though she's eating, then I'll stop and stand for a minute and just kind of inch my way closer, letting her know that this is a good thing, this is nice. When I get up to you, I'm going to reward you. I might have a cookie, I might have one of your favorite snacks, I might have a good shoulder scratch, wither scratch, whatever you love. I'm going to be doing this a lot, where I will just come up and practice this with her, step away, and get her to the point where she's more comfortable with people walking up to her in the pasture, and then not asking anything of her. I'm going to walk up to her, I'll put the halter on, give her her snack, or her scratch, or whatever she's going to get as a really nice reward. Then I'm going to take the halter off and I'm going to walk away. And I'll probably do that 500,000 times until she is a lot better about this. That's a good girl. And she is not cornered at all. She can escape and probably will escape if I push this too far, too fast. Good girl. Good. Hi, pretty pony. Yeah. You good girl, aren't you, sweetheart? You good girl. This is a little awkward to do with a camera, but we're making it work. So you can see how she's changed in just a few minutes that I've had this camera rolling. See if she wants to sniff. Nope. That's a good girl. And then I'll back off and leave her alone. She let me touch her. I don't want you to leave. I'm just going to back off a minute. There's a good girl. And I do have the halter and lead rope with me. So if she wanted to leave, she knows that I'm here to halter her. There's a good girl. She likes a good wither scratch. And she's super fluffy. So it feels really good this time of year. Doesn't it, sweetheart? Yes. You's a good girl. So I've been at this video for about 5 minutes now, and she's already let me walk up to her. This pony was not going to let me walk up to her when I first started rolling. I promise you that. But when you just change the way you approach and communicate, things get so much easier, so much less stressful for you both. We're not even breaking a sweat here. This is nice. And she'll let me do this a dozen times in a day, whatever it takes to get her to the point where she knows that she doesn't have to play hard to get every time she sees me coming with a halter.